What's up, Quackcatcher fans? HangerDrone.com. Today I'm going to be flying my SYMA X5C Explorers. I forgot my SD card, so we won't be doing any onboard flight footage, but we will be taking it up for a flight. I was having some binding issues with it. That has not been corrected. I'm only getting about 30 meters or so. This thing's not supposed to get that crazy of range anyways, but I thought it would get a little bit more. There are some antenna mods to this one. It is a great flyer, a very steady flyer. I'll show you here in a second. I'll just hover it and let you see. I mean, this is without my hand on there. It's hovering, very little downward drift. It holds its throttle very well. And the camera on there is not bad. It's about 720, but it's decent. I mean, you can capture some video out of it. Angle's not the best for getting anything on the horizon. It's more of a downward angle. But the SYMAs are nice because they do have this where you can cut the power and then just hit the juice again and it'll take up. Now this is gear driven, so you got white plastic gears on the bottom of it. So it makes it a little bit noisier, but in the mini class, this is probably one of the best sellers, if not the best seller, because it's so easy to fly. It's great for beginners. 2 speeds, slow and slow, fast. It does do flips too as well. You just hold on the button and then push whatever direction you want to push in order for it to flip. So as you can see, you can, like I said, drop the throttle out on this, pick back up with ease. You can toss it from your hand. You do need to let it, the accelerometers and the gyros and everything else, when you first turn it on, bind on the level surface. Otherwise you might have some binding issues in being able to take off with it. But you know, we can bring this thing in nice and close and take a look at it. But super cool. So I do have the landing gear on mine. I don't have the prop guards on. The lights are reversed on this one, so you got your greens in the back, reds in the front. If you've never flown a quadcopter before, then it probably won't be that big of an issue for you. If you're flying in the daylight, not that big of an issue either. You just got to remember what your orientation is, because most quadcopters are green or blue in the front, red in the back. So that is a little bit different than most. I wish I would have brought my SD card so could have recorded some footage, but you can flip to the left, flip to the right, and flip to the front, flip to the back. So you just push in on the right bumper, and then while pushing in, press up, down, left, right on the right stick, and that'll allow you to be able to do your flips. So like I said, the range is a little bit limited on this. Get some weird feedback when you go out of range. Either it'll just kind of start flying, or it'll overcommit to, let's say, a rotation until it gets back in range, and that way you can continue flying it. So like I said, there are some antenna mods on there for this to extend the range considerably. Battery's a decent size, so you should get anywhere between 5 to 6 minutes of flight time. My X11 SYMA or SYMA Hornet, that one gets decent. It's a mini too as well, smaller than this one. More looks like a Hubson, but gets excellent flight time too as well, especially for a mini. But you know, as you can see, I'm very, very, very smooth flyer. So I've been impressed with it, other than the lack of range. And you know, anyone just trying to start out, this would be ideal, or for a smaller child. The weight on this is fairly low. I don't think it's over 8 ounces, even with the camera on board and loaded down. It's very cheap white plastic, but durable. So if you do crash, you know, you're not gonna have to worry about it breaking that easy unless you fall onto concrete from a high distance. Replacement parts are really cheap too on this as well, so you can patch this sucker up, because it is a little bit on the higher end on price for a mini. Most minis are in that $20 to $30 range, whereas this is $50, but given its size, you know, it's almost up to a bigger quadcopter, so it warrants the more expensive price. Plus it does come with that onboard camera and some different accessories too as well. So it does look a lot like a DJI Phantom in its design, yet it's a smaller scale of it. So we're probably going on 5-6 minutes of flight time. Like I said, it's handling very well today. Range is decent. Sometimes there can be some interference because this is a 2.4 gigahertz. In the areas that I fly, there are some high frequency power lines around here that could be throwing it off, as well as some antenna and cell towers. Buzz the ground there. Very enjoyable. So we'll do flip to the left, kind of wear down our battery. We'll try flying at a higher speed and doing a front flip at the same time. Excellent way that it handles, recovers. It can do tight flips, so you don't need a lot of space. You should probably give it at least 5 feet off the ground in order to do your flips, just in case you get any throttle dropouts, it doesn't smack the ground. But this is the SYMA X5C Explorers with camera quadcopter. It's a mini. Like I said, it doesn't not quite at the 8 ounces, so it shouldn't need to be registered. Decent controller that comes with it. Decent range. It's the only thing I can say bad about this, but other than that, handles great, flies great. A little bit of an issue with binding if you're not on a flat level surface, so just make sure you are when you go to try to bind it. If you have questions or comments about this quadcopter, feel free to leave them in the section below.